Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing very well. Today I'm going to share a simple traditional festive thali. With Gudi Padwa and Ugadi coming in the next weeks, I thought of sharing this simple traditional thali which calls for very less ingredients. You need not really go out to buy anything extra. So let's get started. So we'll be starting with the Shrikhand because that needs to be chilled. So Shrikhand is basically a yogurt-based sweet dish and is very popular in Maharashtra, made almost in all the households during any festival. So for this, we'll be needing some hung curd or tanga hua dahi, which is basically simple yogurt from which all the water has been strained out. You can easily make this at home. Just take some plain yogurt or dahi in a muslin cloth or cheesecloth like so and spin it around to squeeze out all the water. Then you can put some weight over it and rest it for 2 to 3 hours in the refrigerator. I did this overnight before and by morning I had beautiful hung curd ready. You can see this texture and how well this has set. I have taken approximately 1.5 cup of dahi which yielded this much of hung curd. As I am making Kesar Pista Shrikhand, I dissolved around 10 to 11 strands of saffron in 2 tablespoons of warm milk. Let it soak for a while. Eventually saffron will release its beautiful color. Also chopping up some pistachios into thin flakes. I have seen many people adding cardamom or elaichi in this recipe, but I really want to keep the flavors clean. I don't want the saffron flavor to be overpowered by something else. But if you want to add cardamom, just add it just a pinch maybe. Next, take a whisk and try to break down the hung curd. It may seem a little difficult initially, but eventually it will get softer. So we'll be adding the saffron milk and chopped nuts at intervals. So you can see how the texture is now. So add a little bit of saffron milk and then mix again. Also I have some powdered sugar which I'll be adding 1 tablespoon at a time until I get the desired sweetness. You can see it's much easier to handle right now. And don't add all the ingredients all together. Do it at intervals and then whisk again. So this way you will have everything well mixed. See how the saffron has released this beautiful color. It's so pretty. And you can also see the consistency right now. It's pretty much like whipped cream and it's silky and it's very smooth right now. So we'll finish it later and we'll keep it in the refrigerator for half an hour at least. Since it's a Shrikhand Puri Thali, so definitely we'll make some puris, and for puris we'll have to make the dough, I'll suggest to make the dough before, at least 30 minutes beforehand. So before making the Batata Bhaji, I'll make the dough for the puris. So I'm taking wheat flour now. I think it's around 2 cups of wheat flour, adding 2 tablespoons of Semolina or Rawa, adding a pinch of salt and 1 teaspoon of sugar. You can also take maida, but I prefer the wheat flour or atta. So mix it well and you have the dry ingredients ready. I'll not add oil at this point of time. I'll use yogurt or dahi to bind the dough. I have taken around 2 tablespoons of dahi, plain yogurt, and I'm just mixing all together. I'll add water only if necessary. So like you can see, I have already made the dough, and once the dough takes the shape, I'll just add a few drops of oil and I'll knead it well and keep it covered for at least 30 minutes so that it's much easier to roll it later. Next I am making Batata Bhaji or potato ki sabji. So this recipe is so simple yet super delicious. I highly recommend to make it the way I made. So for that I have taken some boiled potatoes. I have basically boiled them in microwave for around 10 to 15 minutes. I have just added some salt and plain water. Had taken some 3 to 4 medium-sized potatoes. So the potato should be boiled but not mushy. It should be firm enough. Also prepping up some veggies I have chopped 2 green chilies, 1 inch of ginger finely chopped. I have taken 1 white onion. Red onion is also fine. And I'm also chopping some cilantro or coriander leaves. Also roughly chopping the potatoes into cubes. You can also break them down with your hands, but I prefer this way. So in a karai I have taken some mustard oil. Take any oil of your choice. Adding 1/4 teaspoon of mustard seeds or sarso. Also adding 1/4 teaspoon of jeera or cumin seeds. Let them crackle. Adding the green chilies at this point. Also adding a few curry leaves. I have dried. You can also use fresh ones if you have. I like to add peanuts in this recipe, so I'm adding some chopped peanuts at this point. So this is completely my version of the recipe, so if you don't like peanuts you can skip it. I'm also adding the chopped ginger. Once the peanuts are fried a little bit, then add the onions, a bit of salt to soften the onions. Once the onions are translucent, add a pinch of turmeric powder, around 1/4 teaspoon, a pinch of sugar, and 1/4 teaspoon of dhania powder or coriander powder. Also adding the chopped dhania or coriander leaves, and also the potatoes. Mix it well. I always like to add salt while frying the potatoes, but keep in mind that we already added salt while boiling the potatoes and also some while frying the onions. But I believe potatoes should be always well seasoned to get the maximum taste out of it. So adding rest of the cilantros, and I'll be finishing it with 1/4 teaspoon of dry mango powder or amchur powder. So that's it. The sabji or Batata Bhaji is ready. You can see how simple this is. It actually takes minutes to cook. It's just giving tarka to your boiled potatoes, but it tastes so good. It's simple. You can also have it with some dal or rice. It's delicious. So next is the puri. So I've already prepped the puri dough, so it's just about frying them. So the dough is well rested now, and I'll be just making small balls out of it. Take a few balls out of the puri dough and then keep the rest covered so that they don't dry out. So this is how I roll the puris. I usually use loose flour or atta. I can't really use oil to roll out the puris. You can use whatever is convenient for you, and just make sure you have a uniform thickness. So I have heated some oil. Make sure the oil is hot enough, and then you add the puris. Do let me know if you tried any of this recipe. Tag me in on Instagram or let me know in the comment section. I'd love to know that. Take out the puris over a tissue paper, and I always use a perforated basket or anything like that so that the puris don't get soggy. Now it's time to finish our Shrikhand. The Shrikhand is chilled now, so I'm adding the leftover strands of saffron for garnishing, also adding the pistachios, and I also had few dried rose petals, and I love the colors. It's beautiful and it was so delicious. So that's it, our thali is ready. Is beautiful traditional festive thali. You can actually eat it any fine day. You do not need any festival to enjoy the deliciousness. It was so good, simple, satisfying, and it really doesn't call for any special ingredient. If you don't have saffron, if you don't have pistachios, just replace them with whatever you have in hand, and that's it. You have a beautiful thali and just enjoy with your loved ones. I hope the new year brings peace and happiness to all. If you enjoyed the video, then don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. It's absolutely free. Click on the bell icon to get notified for my future uploads. Happy Ugadi and happy Gudi Padwa. Stay safe.